Today, I wanted to talk to the audience about name changes in North Carolina, what it means, what it does, and how to accomplish that. So, the first way that probably most people in the audience are familiar with in terms of changing one's name is after you get married. In this country, after parties marry, it is not uncommon for a wife to take on her husband's last name. She drops her own last name and takes his last name. And that happens just kind of automatically. Once a person is legally married and they have a marriage certificate, they can begin to use the other spouse's last name. And of course, it is typically the wife who takes the husband's last name, although sometimes the opposite happens. I've heard of husbands taking their wives' last names. Or even in a same-sex couple, again, that the name swap can go either way. But in any of those scenarios, once the marriage occurs and a marriage certificate is signed, that document can be used to contact Social Security or DMV or whatever agency need to update their records to reflect the new last name. All you need is the marriage certificate. Another way to change one's last name is through divorce. The opposite of marriage, right? Divorce. So once a divorce judgment is entered, part of the request during that divorce proceeding is I'd like to resume using my own, my maiden last name. And a divorce judgment is signed, and it gives the other party the right to resume use of their maiden name. And then that divorce judgment is used to contact DMV or Social Security to say, hey, please change my last name. And sometimes people get divorced and they forget to ask to resume use of their maiden name, or they decide later on. So there is also a document. It's a very simple process to later on request use of one's maiden name after a